the same trap that the Cyber Legacy did in game 1.
I don't really like EXTREMUM's draft. The Enchantress and Void Spirit, they're all good, but why Skywrath? And this is the one I'm really gonna pick up because I'm not seeing why they wanted it so badly. Because they don't have something good to pair up with it either in particular, right? Like that's why when the panel started saying Legion Commander, I was like, oh, okay, I'm starting to see reasoning, like maybe potential reason why I see this Skywrath, but he has no one to partner with. He's just gonna be some like harassment, but there's no good like situations in this game where I see like a Mystic Flare is just going to be successful. They have they have what? The Aether Remnant and the Skywrath ulti combo.
Prepare for battle.
It's very underwhelming. No frontline for Medusa versus heavy frontline in a very well-rounded draft. I'm loving Cyber Legacies. I think it's it ticks all the boxes for me.
Yeah, I mean, what is it going to take for this lineup to really work for EXTREMUM? I mean, you sort of look at any of these heroes that could start to take over early, or at least crush a lane to the point where Cyber Legacy are going to have weaknesses that will be open to being abused by EXTREMUM in the mid game?
That would be the only thing that I can see happen, is if the lanes do somehow end up being smashed. Like if Skywrath and Queen of Pain somehow just dominate their lanes, and this Enchantress somehow just secures this Medusa's free farm absolute, and they just are that far ahead, then sure, I can see it. But I think it's going to be pretty hard with the heroes that they're given. You know, Void Spirit, he's decent at collapsing and getting on top of Drow Ranger, but Skywrath is not. Skywrath is 0 armor hero. You do not like playing versus Drow at all. You're good versus Phoenix in mid-game with your silence, but in particular, not so much versus any other heroes. But we'll see. Maybe they bring something completely out of the box. I don't like Skywrath's positioning in the game, in Dota, for quite a long time now, actually.
I mean, it's as you said, you know, it's not just necessarily the lack of setup for the Mystic Flare, it's just the lack of lockdown at all, right?
Yes.
But for anything, not a single stun. Other than that taunt and and the stone gaze, but you know that's as much of a stun as you want to call it a stun. Spot on lane, a lot of damage onto Bignum. Self alive. There's the TP. So Sky will indeed. Vella's going to be trying to lane into these two up top, and
it does not lane well worth them. They just hit him.
Oh, and he has even then
concussive level 1 too, which is kind of weak for harassment. So let's see how much these other two Lucas can do. How much can the Queen of Pain and how much can the Enchantress do? Because I don't see top being able to snowball at all.
Yeah, I mean, what do you sort of expect to see out this bottom lane? Blizzy is going to have the Clock, of course. It's going to be two of them, Blizzy and Bignum, laning against this Medusa. You know, Bat and the Clock. Does the pressure Medusa in the lane?
If it was another hero besides Enchantress, I would think maybe. I think Enchantress is just one of those heroes that secures, for the most part, any lane. Sure, Nefer can, if he makes mistakes, then I think he can die, but if he just plays the lane heads up, I think they should just be fine. Just don't get stacked up too much and don't get in position for a Clockwork to push you. As Blizzy eats some heavy harass.
Fine. Plenty of regen to start laying off. Salge Man goes on the way down to that bottom lane as well to keep Cyber Legacy in good shape. The lane. The hunt for the creep come on from Magical. What's he going to be able to find? Isn't going to be what he wants.
They are owning the lanes right now, though. First two. Queen of Pain dominating mid. Even Void Spirit, top's even. Bottom doing very well, though. And Blizzy's actually just dead. Oh, Fairy Fire, just kidding.
Yep, and just in time for himself to get to arrive in the lane, so let's be able to get back up to full HP with this rather large wave coming into him underneath the tower. Just much EXTREMUM are able to deny away from him from that wave. And yeah, Magical is just spending a lot of time out of the lane, hunting for the creeps. He does manage to find himself an alpha wolf, but it's taken quite a few creep waves, sort of time spent away from mid. I mean, 14 to 5 against the 5 for 0.
Yeah, he missed, I think, literally 3. And he even just sets up 2 creeps for deny for the Queen of Pain too. Vela, much more comfortable in this matchup. I've seen this matchup quite a few times. I see the Doom actually come out pretty okay. And a lot of them there. Suffering.
Serious catching up to do.
Yeah, lane setups, like we said, this is where we have that. Where I feel like EXTREMUM just has to dominate them. They're doing a good job at that. They need to keep it up.
There's top lane. CS for Cooman is certainly being hindered a bit by this pressure. It's underneath the tower now. That extra bit of Tough time for the Drow to get those last hits.
Missed a couple there too. Missed 2 or 3. Yeah, and mid and bottom are continue to be extremely difficult. Blizzy and Magical both getting pressured quite a lot. So, you know, saying really like Cyber Legacy's draft in the mid game, how they can fight and everything. But yeah, lanes definitely going to be favoring Extreme quite a bit here. And Medusa in this game does have pretty good matchups versus like Doom. This is one of the best heroes, best carries in particular, because you don't really care if you get doomed. You just hold your ground. Same thing versus Phoenix.
Consider.
And Magical is... It's getting close to the point where Melo's going to have opportunities to jump and burst Magical.
Yeah.
Especially once he hits the 5. So Phil's got to be very, very careful. Does have this devour going, so that'll get him back up to a decent amount of health.
Got his regen coming now too, so he can actually sit in the lane, because he can't actually even walk up and get much XP right now.
But yeah, you've got to imagine, but the Sky coming over too, Extremum's going to have the hold of the 4-minute rune. And there's going to be a regen rune here for the Quaps. Always nice that they can play aggressive. Both his mana and health pool, knowing that he's going to get that good refill.
They're moving Velo over.
They've got enough burst to do this. Melo trying to get in range. If he blinks in, he's got it. And, ooh.
Stick Fairy Fire.
Yeah,
okay.
that's true. That's true. It was just a level 1 scream still, yeah, with the 3 points in the dagger. Yeah,
yeah, I think he
would have died for sure.
Yeah.
Playing it sensible, getting that regen rune bottled up, and again, just keeping Magical in this permanent state of incredibly low life. So Magical is just really struggling to get any sort of look into the wave.
There you go, that's the first blood finally. Slayer might go down as well to Velor, but no, he actually gets pushed away. So even though they are smashing the lanes with a 2k advantage, they lose their Void Spirit.
That's a big advantage with 5 minutes in. Considering not the team to get first blood.
Yep.
And actually down bottom as well, losing another kill.
Blizzy though.
Does go down, and Freeze has been forced into a position where he's able to pick up the bouncy rune. Could have even gone for the second, but doesn't want to miss out on potential farm. Gets himself back over to the wave. And yeah, this mid, Melo's going to be able to make some big moves now as he sits 6. Magical just still sort of crawling along a little bit behind this free farm Quap in the mid lane.
Yeah, he just walks up. He's gonna just every single time he just eat this level 3 Shadow Strike. That's so damn annoying. Yeah, Melo's doing an excellent job. And like you said, rotations will be there. And rotations to these weak side lanes they're gonna be good. The top lane is the one that Cooman's still farming well, so I feel like if the Quap ganks up there, this could set Extremum up for a very good mid game. Slows down Cooman a little bit more. I don't want to see him rotate bottom too much, unless it's like Medusa just needs it because she's dying. I really want to see Melo put the pressure on up top.
Invisibility.
Magical will find an invis for himself.
He's level 6. There should be solid setup for some action. There's no sentry mid.
Oh, he's very far up. They might be
he's got this. Yeah, straight in he goes. Out of the invis. Blocking him out. Cog's out as well. Melo is trapped. And he'll go down. This rune on Magical, very important for him now. Of course, was losing out in the mid lane, and that's sort of kills like that'll get him back in it. Top lane at the same time. Trying to move it on to Malik. He's out with the remnants to slow down Cooman a little bit, but still loses courier. 2 of them as Cooman there in the farm. He's having just as good of a time as Zephyr down bottom on this Deucer as both carries off to some serious free farm right now.
Yeah, that's literally everything though, right? Magical getting that kill. He's back. He's literally like same network as the pain, even though it's 38-24 to 26. That's the Doom factor, the Devour, the perfect rune. And we see the wards that they've set up. I think this is literally like them preparing for those Melo rotations that I was talking about. 3 wards to cover the river and any type of rotation that goes towards the Drow side of the map. So Cyber Legacy, they are preparing themselves to those rotations. Blizzy.
Red top.
Cut a wave on top also.
Trying to turn on this, but they're both low on Extreme, and Bella's down for sure. Malik's going to try and finish off Slayer. Slayer's still alive though as Cooman turns and claims both. Oh, they try and go all in there to finish off Slayer. They don't get it, and they end up feeding 2 kills to the Drow.
It's a very strong lane. I think the Drow also, as hitting 6, the extra agi, I believe, for Phoenix kicked in. So he had 2 more armor. I think it actually saved him because he lived like 12 health. It's actually very close. Those little things coming into play. But yeah, we see this top lane. The Cooman's free farming. And they
Gotta
did
make
have
moves.
this solid 6 minutes or so in the laning phase, but now it's all evened out. It's only the Bat Rider who's really the big one out of it, and he has stacks to catch up with.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, he's going to catch up. Doom, you know, the wonders of Doom mid. It doesn't really matter how the very early waves go. You're going to catch up. You hit the jungle, you've got the Devour. You're going to be back up there in no time. So I think you're definitely looking towards this Quaff and seeing what Melo is going to be able to do to sort of help things on the side lanes, in particular some sort of rotation onto Cooman soon and slow down this Drow, who's having a pretty free time so far.
Yeah, now we're going to start to see what their draft actually looks like. 'Cause lanes is one thing, mid game is another, right? They picked themselves just pretty okay lanes, but in the mid game, their draft looks really wonky. They have no way to start fights. They have no frontliners. Well, I guess okay, Void Spirit is a frontliner and a way to start fight, I guess, but he's not the strongest. There's another Doom mid.
They get the Doom opportunity on to Melo. TPs are coming in. Melo's already taken out. The crit's there from Magical.
Now
G taking huge hits as well. He's gonna tick out too. Cyber Legacy get the 2 of the mid. And it's a second. I mean, Melo after such a great laning start against Magical, who sort of stepped away from the lane on those first few waves. That's all been thrown away. It feels like he's 0-2 and 0. He's just died 2 times back-to-back mid, and he's yet to have any impact on this game in terms of rotating.
Yeah, and that 2K gold lead's gone. Cyber Legacy now are in the lead with gold. And like we said, now it's all going to start playing out. He's going to start rotating now.
Yeah, he's got to make some moves, and he will be able to get the jumping onto Blizzy. Blizzy, he should go down here. This is a double damage Quap. He's going to buy some time with the lasso.
Dancing.
Melo's getting low. I mean, that flame Blizzy, he's dodged it. I mean, Melo, he's going to blink up in a second, but the battery assault from him, not enough. EXTREMUM, he's into the tree, but it sees him. He's going to be able to find him, so they'll lose Blizzy. I mean, it's a rotation. You are killing the offlaner, but you're losing your life for it. And of course, it's not really priority target number 1. Cooman's still left unharmed, so still yet to really feel Melo's game going too greatly for him. I mean, a third death on this Quap. His game's going to really slow down.
Hey, Bignum gets himself like a full level and a half for a solo kill. And there's a Clockwork versus some decent matchup. Like, he kills Enchantress.
There we go.
Very easy.
If the heals are going to be enough from G to keep him safe. Good micro here. Holds back Cooman. We'll save him.
Didn't quite have the mana for the cogs, the battery assault and hook shot. We'll be able to get away.
Dire's top tower.
But yeah, very costly deaths on Melo, as he's their big aggressor, and that's the first Sonic wave used. It's going to be on CD. Magical's going to have Doom ready. Magical also gets very fortunate with his neutral creeps. So he's got the drama and the faded brooch. He's going to be zooming around the map.
Melo's got to be careful around the spin again. I mean, we've seen him 2 times get doomed. Magical's going to have Doom back up again in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So he's got to be very cautious around this. Point as bottom lane, they're getting this tier 1 tower now. TPs are going to come in. So if they were to push out Cooman in time with the Mystic Flare onto Blizzy, they'll have to burst to take down the bat. Jump forward, they get the ground onto Cooman. Melo's in with the TP as well. Cooman is going to go for the TP out, and he is away. Nothing else, of course, to hold him back. As we mentioned before, EXTREMUM's lineup really lacking lockdown
bottom tower has been denied.
as they're away. And Melo at least able to find that tower denying the tier 1.
I was really worried for Cooman there for a second, just because he turned up so early on, but yeah, able to TP out. Still in a comfortable spot. The Medusa's still free farming. We do still see Nefrit getting very big over there in that jungle. Maybe that's how they're just going to play it just much more passively, just with the Medusa, because they don't have ways to start fights. They don't have frontliners either, so they have to play this game a little bit weird, I feel, on the side of EXTREMUM. Maybe hope that Cyber Legacy just walks into you and makes mistakes.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They might
go for a move here. I mean, they've got the smoke, they've got hook shot Doom.
Scanning.
Even over. It's going to take quite some positioning from EXTREMUM though to punish this. This is a very potent move when you have these 3 heroes. With these 3 ults, it should be a pretty easy kill.
They get the scan successful though. Nefrit's going to be able to back away before they actually hit him. Some ward's going to be placed down though. We've been blocking some camps maybe. Double warding actually this area. I mean, it is where Medusa is going to be playing the entire game, so heavily emphasized around this area. Cyber Legacy.
They'll still go for this if they catch someone.
They see G. Sneaking on.
Oh, Melo. hanging around here. You said G's starting off getting the division, but Melo's always been... I mean, I thought they saw them there, though, right? I mean, G's getting the info. Okay, I guess he wasn't ready for the Doom to be there as well. As G gets him the info, Melo steps up and dies immediately. They do manage to get the control onto Slayer. Slayer will get burst down by the jumps of Malik. Melo's playing again on this quad. It just feels like he's never going to get an item.
Yeah, it feels like that's going to be the story of the game. It feels like the Queen of Pain's going to keep dying, and Doom and Drow, the Drow is very good versus Medusa. Sure, Doom might not be, but Doom's just going to be able to take out the rest of the heroes a lot of the time. Yeah, I feel like it's really just going to be super passive from Extremum, and they're just going to fight around their triangle defensively most of the time. Which I would imagine Cyber Legacy farms them in the map if that's the case. They can just farm pretty much everything on the map, while Extremum's only getting the triangle. Yeah, like
sure, this Deuce is going to be able to farm, but both this Quap and Void Spirit, they've got to be finding kills.
Yes.
Especially this Queen of Pain. Melo's falling behind already. If he's not getting kills, this hero's just going to feel very worthless.
Dire's top tower
is finished. Zephyr, like we said, he's still very farmed. Quite a little bit over that Drow Ranger. His team is now able to finally look to pressure top tower with those ults being on cooldown. But I don't think Cyber Legacy minds any of this downtime with their ults on cooldown. If it's not them getting pressured with their ults on cooldown, then it's cool. They're going to have them back up shortly. Blink is finished on Magical, and then they can look to make the move again.
Chip top. Look at this tower here. Give him the money as well. Melo getting the last hit. Trying to get his full steps done. 600 away. We'll find it shortly.
We didn't point this out, right? This is the first time I've seen a Bat Rider go Tranquil Boots in this current match
quite a long time.
They always go box first. They never go Blink. They never go Tranquil Blink.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant
he did have a bit of a rough time, so I think he was just prioritizing getting this Blink so that his team has better initiations too, so he can get the Medusa, bring her out of position. He's probably thinking like Drow and Doom are like, these guys are farming the majority of the map anyway, so they will restrict the Bat Rider a little bit though.
Yeah, and well, we'll see what sort of jumps get, because they have like so much initiation now on Cyber Legacy. They've got 3 heroes ready to go in. I mean 4 as well if you just sort of consider the dive from Slayer. Hook shot, Blink on Magical, Blink on Blizzy. They've got so much jump, which isn't that bad really if you look at sort of what Extremum's lineup lacks, which is a frontliner. So you have all these squishy targets that you are sort of able to jump on multiple heroes. You're not going to be focusing down the same hero. Everyone's going to have their own target.
They still have a ward down on Nefrit. No mana shield even used, so he dies.
And now with the hook shot over to Bella, they'll pick up another. Just didn't manage to get these walls taken away after that whole sort of move earlier when they knew that Extremum were smoked up and sat on the high ground. Not able to secure that area and make it safe for their Medusa to farm it.
I'm going to call it a heads-up play, actually, from Cyber Legacy, because they put 2 wards down when they did that smoke move. So G countered one of them, and he was probably like, oh, there's no vision around here. You're safe to farm. So I feel like that actually caught them off guard, and Melo.
Magical's got Blink up in a second. He's also got Blink. Who's stopped? He's in. They have enough control, though. No. Melo's more than fine here without any of their ultimates. Melo can stand his ground. Not scared of these heroes without the Doom and without the lasso.
And G will be able to find that ward that got his Medusa killed now. Oh, doesn't finish it off. He's prioritizing stacking Ancient. We'll get that stack. Nice smoke move though from Cyber Legacy. They're ticking all the boxes. I feel like they're playing really smooth. They're in a pretty comfortable spot here too with this draft. They're always going to have this big overwhelming team fight that's always going to be beating Extremum. That's the thing I'm always looking at in this game is how does Extremum actually win a fight? They have to take advantage of the cooldowns somehow.
Yeah, it's going to be a case of Cyber Legacy fight. The Deuce is around. The Deuce is able to clean up if Cyber Legacy aren't able to sort of 100-0 her.
Yep. They're gonna have to hope for something. Doesn't look like it's gonna be too easy. But Medusa on an island in this game, I don't see her solo carrying versus a Drow Ranger versus a Bat Rider versus a Doom and Phoenix. These heroes all do scale pretty hard.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Tower taking a bit of a beating though here as Extremum push up. Hiding in the trees as well, ready for any defense that Cyber Legacy do want to put out.
They try to jump.
Very quick with a blink reaction, won't get caught by Malik, hunting with the Null Scepter. Remnant does grab Slayer. Will manage to hold back Cyber Legacy long enough so they can get the job done. Tower's taken.
They wanted to press forward while Doom is on cooldown, just try to get anything. Doom will be back up now, 10 seconds. So Cyber Legacy, I'd imagine they look for this type of move out toward their jungle.
And they do go on these hunts. They've been pretty successful so far.
If they have a smoke, they're going to clear out their jungle. Let the Clockwork lead the charge. He shows himself around the ward. He'll get that ward too. I think they're going to back away though. As soon as the clock shows, that might be the towel. Sticking around for a second though. Lizzie.
Catch.
They saw
on the front. He's able to get the lasso. No moves out in time from Malik. He's got the Yules. There's the hook shot as soon as he comes landing down from it, so not even a chance to jump away. And try and turn that kill straight into a Roshan. Cooman's damage. Find the Hurricane Pike Yash double Wraith Bans. He hits hard. Roshan will fall, and they just split up across the lane. So EXTREMUM no intention of trying to do anything about this Rosh.
They can't contest Rosh anyway. Versus all these ultimates, it's way too hard in there when they have no stuns. It's way too difficult. Drow now with an Aegis. They still have their Doom in their egg available. Almost up to 12 on Slayer too. In a very comfy spot. And it's, like we said, it's just enough. It's really getting that much farm. The Queen of Pain, Mellow is being slowed down heavily this game. So they're gonna have to itemize to just buff up the Medusa. So Solar Crests, Lincolns, Lotus Orbs, etc. They're gonna have to just all in to hope the Nephra takes it. Yeah.
Smokes out again here for Cyber Legacy. I just see another move coming out immediately. They still have those big ults to use. Only lasso down from the last fight.
Oop, Blizzy, maybe they catch him here as he gets greedy for the rune. Are they even going to be able to? It's their only stun, and he walks away.
Invisibility.
They've got the finish 4 staff, so even Slippery are an extra way to save his heroes if they do get gone on by the limited catch of EXTREMUM.
God, they just have no stuns and no disables. I just don't even know how they keep them inside a Stone Gaze or anything like that. And I look at the supports on the side of Cyber Legacy that these heroes grow and they get stronger. Skywrath does not. This hero is all about taking over and snowballing. This hero just kind of starts being a walking silence in a lot of these fights.
I mean, would you imagine that they sort of picked it because they felt that it would get more done in the lanes when it came to sort of spamming the enemy carry?
I guess so. Like I don't know too much about Skywrath anymore. I used to be a big Skywrath player a lot of the times, and it's like back in the day when we used to always talk about it, it's like the silence. Usually the reason you pick this hero is because you have a combo with the ult, or because the silence is so damn good in the game versus something like a Storm Spirit or something. I don't see what the pick was for. It's maybe like silencing a Phoenix. And it hasn't been able to apply the pressure. It's yeah, it's 5 to 12. They can't make any aggressive moves because this is their 4 position. That's usually the one that's forcing stuff.
There we go. They're coming back into their jungle. Who's here? Vela. Drops the silence, but a quick blink to the side. Gets Blizzy away from any follow-up damage. He'll leave Vela to be dispatched by Magnum and Slayer.
He gets doomed on the left.
They could finish off, yeah, magical with this damage he can at the same time. They were seeing if they could find Malik in trees. Malik got out. Yeah, another situation where this quad's being found and Mello just... I mean, it's not him, it's just the whole squad. They just can't find kills. They can't find action. It's a mid quad for 22 minutes. There's 1-5-0. This is not what you want from your quad.
I don't feel like they can do anything, if I'm being honest. I feel like their draft just... You know, we talked about how their draft was decent for lanes and all that. They had that 2k advantage, but then after that, we mentioned their mid-game and everything is just... They can't do stuff. Their heroes just can't really force too much. The Void Spirits, you know, Malik has to be the one that plays super aggressive to try to force any type of moves, but you're playing into a very strong draft with heavy team fight, so it's scary. Don't really know how they do stuff.
Radiant's top tower.
They just rally around Medusa and buffer up. That's really the only plan I can see for them.
The question is, Fog, which did you like least? This draft here from EXTREMUM or Game 1's Cyber Legacy draft?
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I have to look back and see. I actually don't really
Radiant's top tower.
Game 1 was like it was the silencer off lane.
Dire are scanning.
Oh, Silencer, Pugna, Tiny. I think
Dire's
that one.
bottom tower is under attack.
I think that one looked a little bit
Radiant's
better,
top
to be
tower
honest.
Oh, you think those ones are even rougher?
Dire's
Extreme has
bottom
managed to
tower
one-up
is
them.
falling.
Yeah, I just unless Nefrit just
Dire's
somehow
bottom
can
tower is under attack.
carry this whole game by himself, but I'm not seeing it. I think there's just way too many things that he has to deal with in the game. And Drow is good versus Medusa. That 22 armor,
Radiant's
that
middle
becomes
tower
0.
is under
And they don't
attack.
have anything to throw on her to plus it besides just the medallion. So the matchup is just favorable for Cyber Legacy on pretty much every front, it feels like. After the laning field, is of course.
Radiant are scanning.
Taking these tier
Dire's bottom
2s,
tower is under
and no
attack.
hold here from Extremum.
Radiant's middle tower is
They're
under
just out
attack.
with their Medusa,
Radiant's middle
making
tower
sure that
is
Nefrit can
falling.
get his next item done. Tier 2 in the mid down, and more time to push on with the Sages on Cooman. Extremum are happy to continue to sweep the map. TPs it back. They can catch anything around this sort of mid and bottom lane, but already Extremum are out of here.
Yeah, you can see it's Extremum just dodging everything completely. They never want to take a fight versus Cyber Legacy, especially not, you know, of course, when there's an Aegis. But getting out-farmed on the map. Nefrit, he does have the Scotty finished up, and he does have, you know, Growth Bow, so he does have all these great items for himself. Up to level 18 now, too. But looks like they might go for him here. Magical Pox to draw.
They're hunting. Let's see what they can find. Big Nup. And he's going to get jumped. The Stone Gaze is actually going to come out for Nefrit, but everyone just runs away. Everyone's going to be away from this. All Magicals kill off Fella to the side to be a buyback from Fella. They do get Blizzy with a jump ball from Malik. In the river, Mello. Big Nup as they are on top of the Silence comes out. Mello's got to go down. They've got to get this Deucer out of there. The multi-shot coming out, slowing down G. G will be left as Magical. He's able to jump past, get him with a Who Stop onto Nefrit, buying time for the rest of Cyber Legacy to close in upon him. There's another buyback from Mello. Cogs push back onto Malik. He's out to the side with the jump. The gust off the mark, so Malik will escape. Magical taking heavy damage with the Sonic Wave. They will kill it. The buybacks allowing them to turn. Get the kill on Doom. Can they get more from this? Your Scepter into the Remnant. Slayer also foul. Solid buybacks from Extremum do allow them to turn this fight around, still chasing on towards Cooman. Looks like they won't quite get the read of him. Heads up to the north. Mello won't get the jump upon him, so Cooman is able to escape. Bella and Mello, you'll buy back. They get 2 kills because of it.
Yeah. Saving Private Nefrit, it felt like they're just anything to bail him out. They slowed down Cooman so he couldn't actually connect with any. Frost Arrow there. Nicely done. Still, we're seeing though, right? Like every single fight, Mello does nothing. To start the fight at least, he just gets popped almost immediately. It's still seeming very difficult. Valor too. We saw Skyra just die to a couple right clicks and just a scorched earth. Now they do have a little bit of time though. Doom still on cooldown.
Cooman.
And Cooman, he's very far up.
Just stepping up to the high ground, actually spooked Mello. Mello just blinked away from that. He had expecting more to be behind Cooman, but it wasn't the case. Cooman just walking up.
Starting to get more items here to buff up Nefrit too. We see the Void Spirit. I believe Malik almost has the Lotus Orb actually. And we're getting close to a Lincoln's also on Mello. So seeing some type of things that they are planning. Just buff up Nefrit, hope to God that he can carry you.
Top lane Magical. Jumping onto Malik. No Doom for 20 though. Malik's fine. Also has Vela by his side as well as Mello if they want to try and make something happen top.
So
They're gonna try. And they got him
before it.
They're able to do so with that Ancient Seal buffing up the burst damage. He just got shredded.
And like Mello said, that was perfect. Actually, perfect execution there of it. Starting to get some type of shines of life here for them here.
Radiant are scanning.
Taking Doom out. Mello able to get his item done on top of the Yules. The Lincoln Sphere is there, so as you say, just something else that can be thrown onto Nefrit.
Things that can buff up this big Medusa, yeah. And Valor also finishing a knight. They all finished up with little items now.
They're on Slayer. Hookshot will come in to disrupt the combo. Stops them from being able to finish off the Phoenix now with the grab. They'll drag back Malik into the damage of Cooman. Malik will go down. Down for 50. Slayer already trying to hunt for more with the dive forward, but Extremum's out.
And it's up.
I mean, as we're seeing, as powerful as the Remnant setup into the burst is, it's not quite as effective when there's a whole team against it. There are going to be ways to break it up. It'll do the job when you're finding the pickoffs, but when it comes to the 5v5, it certainly feels a lot more underwhelming.
For sure. That's always the big thing with Skywrath, right? So pickoffs will always be good. There's items that just straight counter it too. It's like force stabs. Like if people are in position ever to force versus that Remnant, also it can just break all the aggression. And Roche spawns, both sides aware. Satyr Tormentor scouting it out on one side. Slayer is buying a gem, so he wants to clear out the wards in this area. They're actually just going to commit for it slowly.
They're a little careful. Do you think Cyber Legacy is still at a point where they could force this Roche, or?
I think just wait a little bit. They have lasso up in 20 seconds.
Yeah. Or mid lane, they might not know if Blizzy goes down. Quick blink out though as the smoke dispels before the dust finds
Velo
it.
up though. I mean, that's just a free kill. That's 70 seconds as well too. Use the
and now with a hook shot. Big reach from Vignum. He's able to close the gap onto G. Magical's also found Malik on the side. Doesn't land the hook stomp though. So Malik gets out. So there's 2 down. Well, they're trying to chase for more. Looking to turn onto the clock, but there's still a lot of jump. Nefret's got to be careful about. Oh, Velo, he just commits with a sonic wave to get the kill, and it will do so. Jumps in, bursts down Vignum. Buyback is coming out from both sides. As they continue to try and hold this pit. Malik, he was trying to take down the wall, but they're in with the lockdown. Falls up. Cooman's going to be weighing on the way down with the ghost. They've got the kill. The Frip pops the ultimate, but Cyber Legacy though just kites it out.
They might go on him now though. The Stone Gaze was committed. They might try to chase this out here. 6 shots 5.
Land break to knock him back. Head up forward from Magical. He's looking for the target. He's found it. Zoomed down. Onto Nefret. Nefret will try and stand his ground. He's been bogged down by the Linkers. The Glimmer as well, keeping himself safe. Mello jumps over towards Cooman. Trying to mess with the Drow, but the Supernova's out. Can they take down the Sect? There's nobody hitting it. Nefret will fall. The egg is protected. As G caught by the stun. He'll go down as well. 4 dead. And with that sort of a fight, Cyber Legacy, they'll say, screw Roche, we'll go straight for the high ground. They know that these heroes do not have buyback. I mean, well, actually, Nefret not having it because of the full-out purchase of the MKBs, down for 50 seconds. And G, of course, also himself using that buyback on the early defense stop. You know, they are lacking a lot of members. This is going to be a mid-tower down. Rax as well. I mean, the tier 2s are gone. Malik's going to try and stop them with a jump in. Looking to burst down Cooman. Cooman getting low, but they're able to share the damage of the Mystic Flare.
But now Cooman's
fine.
She has to back away. It's not going to be 2 sets. It's just going to be the one, it looks like.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
A grab. The Remnant onto Magical.
Has been killed.
Spam them away. Right, we'll manage to buy them some sort of safety. Still damage is done down the mid. And they've obviously got this fallback objective. Cyber Legacy, they didn't get 2 sets, but they get a Rax and they get a Roche. So still keeping themselves very far ahead, unless Malik's able to do something special.
Decent Salvin earned healing up Cooman as well.
Can he jump? He's got to go in now. He's got to go in quickly for the hook shots there. They immediately find him on the side. Malik's trying to jump for Roche. Still not yet dead. Extremum are trying to push in, but the Roche goes down. Kuman's able to pick up the Aegis. Malik jumps in. He'll jump straight back out. They found him. Malik's out.
I thought they warned you.
And Cyber Legacy, they get away with it. The Roche, Aegis, cheese, it's all theirs.
Better decision making for sure for them to back up after that. Rax going for Aegis, get themselves nicely set up. Don't take out the wards. Okay, there we go. The gem. They take out the wards. But yeah, I think they're really like recognizing how strong their team fight is. There's just none on Extremum to match it. As long as they're all standing together, they're very strong. 12k lead. Going for a Daedalus now on Cooman, so he can just shred right through that Medusa.
Yeah, that'll be 2 minutes minimum.
Oh,
as this Crystallis did die on the courier.
Takes the Linkens with the Force Staff, then gets the follow-up.
Any further escape for Mello, who's stomped down.
Even throwing the Doom, okay, sure.
I mean, as nice as Magical's Dooms have been, it's definitely getting to the point where the Doom's not necessary for Cyber Legacy feel like they're ready to fight. So they'll happily still push high ground without that.
The Doom's not the strong thing versus the Go for the combo again on Drow, but the heals.
They've got enough burst, and now the turn. They'll lose the Skywrath, and Nefret again popping this Stone Gaze, but every single time all the Stone Gaze achieves is pushing them back. It's never really set up opportunities to fighters. There's just nothing to make them look at the Medusa. They're always able to turn and run.
No, Medusa's, that's actually their strongest team fight in this game. They just don't have too much else besides it. No stuns, really.
on Storm.
Big Sunray heal coming out. No one to stop it. Oh! Spell almost dying to the
both of the Bella and G taking huge hits from this Moe shot. I mean, as I say, in 50 seconds, Chrysalis is going to be back up on the courier. He can pick up that Demon Edge and Recipe. And yeah, good luck to any of these squishy heroes standing anywhere near the output that Cooman's going to kick off.
I think anyone's going to look squishy when you just negate all their armor. The Void Spirit's going to look like the tankiest one. Medusa's going to shred so fast when he has this
Radiant's
damage.
top barracks are under attack.
Up to the next one. What have they got in them? There's the jump. Lotus Lotus in time. So Blizzy's locked in. Blizzy falling low, but he's going to go down. A very nice Lotus play there. Well, will mean that it will make Cyber Legacy think twice about pushing any further. They've lost their bat. They're going to back off, and there is some space now from Nefrit to get pretty close to finishing off his next major item. He's got $4,300 saved up right now. He's probably going to be able to invest in something before the next push comes in and the bat's back in the game.
I'm trying to think what is the absolute... It kind of almost feels like it might be one of those like rapier territory games.
Yeah,
it really feels like it's just him, but...
I think I imagine you probably still want to get the Satanic, but after that you're definitely selling the MKB for a Rapier. It's got to be the natural progression for Nefrit.
I guess so. It's just so scary because there's always a bat fighter, so it's just like, oh god, Rapier just dragged out to the base. I look silly.
Bottom.
Oh, bottom. Mellow
They found
again.
Mellow. Pushed back by the course again. I mean, imagine he just loves doing him. He's just dropping him. He doesn't need to. He really doesn't. He had Infernal Blade there to slam him down, but... He's really got it out against the Quappen. I mean, fair play to be fair. You know, at the start of this game, you got to remember Magical was taking a bit of a beating by the Quappen, at least for the first 5 minutes. Then sort of after that, Mellow's game has just drastically gone downhill. And you can tell Magical's loving it.
Oop. Blizzy up top.
That.
G looking to be in a lot of trouble here.
Oh, yep. They've got a dust. OTP out for G. He slowly burns to the fire of Blizzy.
Feeling pretty much impossible. Nefrit actually commits his gold for an AC, by the way. So he wants some plus armor to deal with the Drow marksmanship.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's the main source of damage that's really destroying him at this stage.
Yeah, and it gives your whole team plus armor as well, so marksmanship won't do as much to your teammates either. This is actually much better item than Satanic. I was like, Satanic doesn't even make you some more survivable in this game, so this one actually does do something. There's going to be an AC on the other side to counteract it a little bit, but that plus armor, it's still going to be there for the Drow always now. Have to stay in their base now, though. Cyber Legacy will
especially spending his money. You can't afford to let the Nefrit go out.
Aegis is reclaimed here. Cyber Legacy in a very comfortable position to do kind of whatever they want now in these last few moments.
Go smoke from Extreme. They are actually going to try and sort of head out a little bit.
I'm not sure what they can do with the smoke, though.
Yeah, I mean, you can still see they don't seem like they want to let Medusa leave the base.
Yeah, I think they're hoping that Blizzy tries to make an initiation on Medusa right now, and they just catch him with the smoke right outside. They have vision here, too, so they're looking.
Malik. He's going to look to go on Slayer. I think they've got enough control to kill him off. Slayer's able to get the self-fuels off. That's there. Well, silence, but still, there's the backup from Cyber Legacy. Beacon comes crashing in onto Vela. Lost the sky for 70.
He
overcharging it. See if he's going to be able to find a second opportunity with a hook shot. But no, he's going to hold off on it. Doesn't want to go out blind.
Thinking about it. Kill though on the Skyrat there. Phoenix, they wanted to go for Slayer, but Slayer's level 21 with 2600 HP, so not an easy target. They gotta do something here, but how do they force? And like forcing into this crazy amount of team fight feels so damn difficult.
Get it, Blizzy.
Constant
More control out. Got to do so. They're losing these racks here. They've got to make some sort of move. Extreme up. They're going to try and jump onto Magical. Bursting him low, but the Glimmer saves him. Their racks down. Cyber Legacy can look to just rinse and repeat on the top lane.
Yep. They can't stop them. They can't slow down the push. They have no way of actually disrupting the fight. Gotta go pick up their neutral items now. Spell Prism. Gets that one. Give it to that Doom or that Bat Rider, probably. Probably Doom.
He's very close to being able to go out and sell that MKB and buy a rapier. I mean, that is going to be what's going to have to happen for them to have a chance to turn him. They need an effort to hit sort of this point where, you know, the few hits that he is actually able to get in on the heroes, there's a high chance he gets the kill. Because at the moment, just still very easy for Cyber Legacy to just step away from this Medusa before they actually go down.
Yeah. There's nothing to keep them actually in there.
Yeah, if selling that KB, he's going to have the money pretty much.
Still just trapped in their base. They're not going to be growing any more than that. And even with Rapier, right? Even then, he's got to be hitting the targets, which I feel like Cyber Legacy is not really going to be giving them too many of those opportunities, at least from the way that they played bottom.
Yeah, he really needs level 25, whichever way he goes on that as well. It's just going to offer him so much.
Yeah, the modifiers will help at least a little bit.
Again, Cyber Legacy just taking it chill once more. They know that they're forced inside the base. Roshan, be a couple of minutes until it's up, but could even just play for that at this stage if they want to close this one off real securely.
They got no rush in this game at all. At some point, eventually, like Bat Rider, Clockwork, and Phoenix will surpass Queen of Pain's net worth even too. So they're gonna have pretty much their whole team at the top there with the Medusa.
Well,
they're starting to peek out though.
Cooman just gonna turn by. Hook shot in. Big Dogs managed to get the hook shot off. Two of them. Slayer dives forward. Ult comes out from Nefri. And damage to Cooman. Cooman, he's gonna go down. They're able to find Cooman. Hook shot in for the second time, come through, dropping the Doom down onto the Lotus Orb. So he's doomed himself. Malik's got the control onto Magical. Magical will fall. The Deuce is still alive. This clock's gonna go down also as they find Big Dom in the trees. And they're able to do it. They're down 20k net worth, but they take a very solid fight, keeping Nefrit alive.
And there's the Rapier. They found Cooman isolated. He actually put himself in that position on the side there because he had the ward to Gus, but then he's actually isolated away from his teammates to help him. The egg in a very defensive position. Doesn't actually pop and hit pretty much anybody.
Yeah, that was a huge move for Extremum. That has given Nefrit everything that he needed. Level 25, he'll have that in the next wave. And they're going to be in a position where, yeah, they're checking out the Roche because even though they're 20k behind, because of how big this Deucer is, they could still try and force for a fight around Roshan.
And the Roche will have quite a lot on it too. To counteract, you know, one of those big things that Aegis, Cheese, etc. counteracts is those big team fights, those big like Dooms, big eggs, etc. Yeah, they might actually, it's gonna spawn. They might actually be able to do it in time. 20 seconds until
they get Nefrit over.
Respawn. Yeah.
They're starting to move out. Is he?
Scouting Nefrit. He sees the Rapier.
And not too much. Yeah, they don't stand any chance of killing Nefrit, even with the three of them alive. They need some serious damage now to tackle him. They've got to have Cooman up, really. Or Magical getting into the Doom.
There we go. Roche up, and it has the Scepter on it. Can they commit straight forward? I do believe that Cyber Legacy is going to look straight to fight. Rocket to scout. Extremum, maybe smoke and try to get a wraparound again. Because that fight, it looks pretty good if they're able to actually get the jump on the right targets. Cyber Legacy also going to smoke though.
Oh, he's going to get the jump. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
That is,
He might be able to just start the Roche, and now it's going to force the issue.
Extremum's got an incredibly scary Medusa right here. Cyber Legacy's got to do this very carefully. They're going to hook shot in, start things up with the cogs. There's the jump on the side, Supernova out as well. They'll control Malik. Stonegaze is popped down. Extremum, they've got Nefrit just taking out Big Dom. Big Dom goes down. He's dead for 90. Now, looking to go back towards the pit. Magical jumps over towards Bella, but Nefrit, he's able to keep him covered, punching into Magical. Magical turns, tries for the Doom, but the Manta's there. Stops him from finishing the cast animation.
Jump over from
Bella. Sonic Wave pushes back onto the two of them. Blizzy, Eon just will save, and the Doom now drops onto Mello. Kuman's over, now he's got the damage. He's able to isolate the Medusa, and Cooman punching into him. Malik's jumping over to try and stop Cooman from finishing off Nefret. Cooman, he's trying his best to finish off this Medusa, and he does manage to be able to do so. Magical picks up the Rapier. Rapier now on the Doom. Nefret buys back. Cyber Legacy, they've lost 3, but Magical, he's able to get this Rapier out. They are going to lose Slayer as well, so only Magical living throughout that. But he gets the Rapier away. Now, Extremum, they did also get team wipe. The 3 heroes up, they did all buy back. But that buyback is going to secure them. Roshan, Aegis Cheese, and the Aghanim's Blessing. So, at the end of it all, I mean, you can still see in the gold swing, Cyber Legacy did get pushed a lot further ahead because of that Rapier switch off over towards Magical. But it's not like Extremum got nothing. It just cost them a lot. Buybacks and losing a Rapier to secure that Roshan, Aegis, and Aghanim's.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Something they just had to do. They had to go for this play here. And now they do. I mean, they still have some types of fighting hope, but this Rapier, it's going to cause some big problems. Not having that on the Medusa, when we saw how afraid they were to just fight on top of her because of it. Now she hits way softer. It's just literally like 1/3 damage coming out from Medusa.
I mean, the thing is, though, he has still got 3,000 gold. He does. And that's sort of, despite using the buyback. So if they don't make a move very quickly, he's going to get room to farm up another Rapier. And of course, he did, as we saw, having the Aegis, it's not like Extremum are going to fall over immediately in these fights, especially if they play it safe and in a way that Nefret's able to slowly pick up the gold on his half of the map with waves pushing into him. Like there's every reason to believe that Nefret's going to be able to get another Rapier this game. Yeah, and now I mean, even with even getting Aghanims, now at least gives him another stun. I'll be totally honest with you. Like even the Mystic Stake stun it can be impactful versus something like Drow. If it hits a couple heroes and it's like a last hero bounce, that next bounce is quite long. And we see the sort of the urgency there for Nefret as well. He just sells to Dragonlance, making sure that he can just get this relic and this demon. It's going to be there. It's just 700 gold away from the Rapier, and going to be the backup Rapier. Okay. We are still going to see a very strong Medusa in these fights.
Yeah, small little things to point out too. Cooman actually went for CDR this game with Satanic and Manta and Hurricane Spike. It makes sense. I actually would have preferred he took marksmanship chance because he's versus Medusa. I think a 50% chance of you just going right through the armor it's everything for you. But
on top lane,
slight picking as they jump forward.
Hello, has been jumped, but Malik's there. What's the backup? Stone Gauge from Nefret coming in as he heads over, but already they've lost Mello. Malik's got to be cautious as well. The overclock holds back Pigment for now. Malik still with another jump. Nefret's down away. Magical might get the jump, and indeed without wraparound, Cooman hits the gust onto all 3 of them. Nefret's trying to turn. He has got that second Rapier picked up, but look at the damage from Cooman. They take him down the ones. They'll take out Vela. Nefret's going to be back for round 2, but who's he got around to save him? Only G. And with this overwhelming damage coming out from Magical's Doom, holding a Rapier, he goes down. It's over. As Cyber Legacy will be able to close it as best as Extremum try and hold on and fight on around their Medusa. It's not enough.